I hadn't planned on ending up here. Hell, no one plans to end up broke, sleeping in the back seat of a rusted-out Corolla, dodging repo men, and ignoring calls from collections. 6 months ago, I had a decent life. A fiancé, a marketing job in the city, a little apartment with a view of the river, and a cat named Cleo. Then the layoff came. Then the breakup. Then the drinking. One by one, I watched my life fold into itself like a dying star. When I saw the Craigslist ad, I'd just been kicked out of the shelter for overstaying. I had $27 to my name and a half-eaten protein bar in my pocket. Night shift attendant wanted. $25 an hour, immediate start. No experience necessary. Too good to be true? Definitely. But I was running out of options. So I drove the 20 miles outside of town, praying my car would survive the journey. The gas station stood alone, surrounded by woods that swallowed the horizon. No other buildings, no streetlights, just the whisper of pines and the buzzing hum of a flickering neon sign. Open 24 hours. Inside, the air smelled like burnt coffee and oil. The shelves were stocked, but dusty. The lights buzzed with a sickly yellow hue. That's when I met Ernie. He looked like someone who hadn't slept since Nixon resigned. Thin, with sunken eyes, a nicotine-stained mustache, and hands that trembled even when they weren't doing anything. "You, Ryan?" he asked, without looking up from his crossword. I nodded. He sized me up. "You'll do." No forms, no interview, just a key, a red leather-bound logbook, and a yellowed sheet of paper. "Read this before your shift starts," he said, tapping the paper. "Not corporate policy, survival policy." I raised an eyebrow. "I'm serious," he said, staring me down. "Follow every rule, every night." He started to walk away, then turned. "Oh, and never let the bathroom door close all the way. It sticks. You won't like what comes out if it gets stuck again." He left before I could ask what he meant. I sat behind the counter, unfolded the paper, and read the title. Night Shift Protocols. Do not deviate. Lock the front doors at 11:59 p.m. sharp. Not a minute later. If someone knocks after midnight, do not answer, even if they know your name. Between 1:13 a.m. and 1:34 a.m., the bathroom door will open on its own. Do not look inside. If a customer enters wearing mirrored sunglasses, ask them how the fire on Old Route 9 is doing. If they reply with anything other than still burning, hide in the freezer until 2:45 a.m. A red truck will pull in around 3:03 a.m. The driver will not exit. Do not go outside. If you see your reflection wave at you, turn off all the lights and recite the phrase, "I do not welcome you here." Keep the radio on static. If you hear a voice say your name, turn it off and hum until the sun rises. Never, under any circumstances, leave before sunrise. At first, I thought it was some kind of initiation prank, but the more I read, the colder my stomach felt. At 11:59 p.m., I locked the doors. I even set an alarm for it, just in case. The station was quiet. Too quiet. At 12:16 a.m., the knocking started. Soft at first, then louder, rhythmic. I froze. Then came the voice. "Hey man, I forgot my wallet inside. Let me in." It was my voice. I crept toward the door, heart pounding. Standing on the other side was me. Same face, same clothes, even the little scar on my eyebrow. "Don't be a dick," it said. "We were just talking, remember?" Its grin widened. Then it tapped the glass with one knuckle. Tap, tap, tap. The knuckle was raw and bleeding. I backed away, breath caught in my throat. The knocking stopped. When I looked again, the other me was gone. At exactly 1:13 a.m., the bathroom door creaked open on its own. I remembered rule number 3. I didn't look, didn't move. I just sat frozen, gripping the countertop with white knuckles. Then came the breathing, wet, guttural. Something large moved in the dark. At 1:34 a.m., the door clicked shut. Silence. I got up, placed a heavy wrench against the bathroom door, and whispered, "Not tonight." At 1:55 a.m., the bell above the door jingled. A man walked in, tall, dressed like a trucker, with mirrored sunglasses. He placed a single candy bar on the counter. "Evening," he said. "How's the fire on Old Route 9? I asked. He paused, smiled. "Still burning." I nodded. He paid in cash and left. But his reflection stayed. It watched me. It waved. I switched off the lights and whispered, "I do not welcome you here," again and again. The reflection frowned. Then it blinked out. At 3:03 a.m., the red truck pulled in. I stayed behind the counter, watched from the shadows. The driver was pale, too pale. His face was long, stretched like a wax mask in the sun. He never blinked, just smiled. He left at 3:27 a.m. No words, no gas, just waiting. At 4:13 a.m., the radio, which I'd set to static, crackled to life. "Ryan," a voice purred, feminine, familiar. "Come outside, Ryan. We miss you." I pulled the plug, started humming "Take Me Home, Country Roads" over and over. By the time the sun began to rise, my throat was raw. At 6:01 a.m., Ernie walked in, sipping coffee. "You made it," he said. I didn't respond, just handed him the logbook. Each night, the rules stayed mostly the same, but sometimes new ones appeared in the logbook. Rule 9. If the Slurpee machine starts dispensing on its own, unplug it and say "no seconds tonight." Rule 10. Do not acknowledge the girl in the green hoodie. She isn't real. If she speaks to you, cover your ears. I began keeping notes, mapping patterns, times, weather, phases of the moon. I also started noticing Ernie acting strange. He'd disappear sometimes, right before a new rule would appear. One night I found a Polaroid photo tucked into the back of the logbook. It was old. Ernie stood behind the counter, smiling. Next to him was a guy with a name tag that read Ryan. But it wasn't me. It was someone else. Someone with my face. 9. The knock. Last night I flipped open the logbook and saw a fresh entry. Rule 11. One night, Ernie will knock on the front door. Do not let him in. But Ernie was inside when my shift started. Right? Tonight, at 12:01 a.m., someone is knocking at the door. I glance over. It's Ernie. He's waving, coffee in hand, smiling. But Ernie's also in the back room, whistling. Which one is real? I don't know anymore. All I know is I'm not opening that door. And if you're reading this, you probably took this job after I didn't show up for my shift. Check the logbook, read the rules, and whatever you do, don't let them know you're scared. They like that.